Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Telling It Like It Is. My name is Jade, Albertas, the founder of Pure Guidance. We are a purpose before profit group that guides small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs. Sharing knowledge and stories is why I started Telling It Like It Is. It is live. If you have any questions, please plop them in there. If you're watching this after the fact, the questions that you put into the comment section will be answered. I'm excited about today's guest, Kristy, Ehman, the founder of Hyon. How are you today?
Great, Jade. How are you?
It's a fantastic day. It's great. I'm excited to dive into this because everybody sells things. Everybody wants to sell things. Everybody hates selling things. So I think this is going to be a really interesting conversation.
I love talking used goods. We can just dive right into that.
Well, before we actually dive right in, I always love talking how we met because networking is such an important part of business, important part of expanding, and even it weighs in on a person's success. So we first met through Codot Labs, and then through kind of Startup TNT when you went through the Saskatchewan Valhalla Summit. So we've had a few meetings since then, and that's kind of how we connected. So it was again, more, kind of more online networking. And that's probably been the theme for the last year and a half, unfortunately, but that's the way it is.
Yeah. And I think what intrigued me to your story and kind of how you had talked about yourself and introduced yourself was your appetite towards bootstrapped companies and how you help them and how you help them think through expansion. And I think that's a struggle for a lot of startup founders. And so when we had that first 2 or 3 minutes together, I think that's what intrigued the next conversation is what does bootstrapping mean? How did you expand your businesses in the past? And we've had some great conversations around that. So it's been
We
great to
have.
connect.
We have, and that's right, wasn't it? It was kind of like a speed dating one we first met. Was
It
that
was
like
speed dating.
you get a minute and a half and you can hit, extra time, I think twice or something. I can't remember.
And I love that if you don't, like, if you decide you don't want to keep talking to someone, they're like, oh, just extend. And you're like, oh, I can't find the button.
Where's the extend button? I
Where's the
remember
extend button?
that is good. I do like that. And I think that was pretty neat. And the only way you can explain it is speed dating.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Well, I like again, we'll kind of dive right into it now. I mean, when I heard about what you guys were doing, I was so intrigued. I mean, I hate selling things. Like I hate Kijiji. I hate people bothering me. I hate people phoning me. Even if you have it for $20 on there, someone's going to try and say, "Oh, here's 10," or they show up and say, "I only got 10." It's happened before. I mean, we just put our stuff outside and we write free on it now, pretty much. And people will come and take it when we got rid of all the girl stuff. So I am not sure how you came up with this idea, but please share your story.
Um, it's so funny. As I was thinking about this, I wish that I could tell like that I had some moment at 3 o'clock in the morning where I'm like, this is the thing. But it was totally not like that. It's been a very messy 3 years. So initially we started a company that we thought if we hosted like a massive garage sale where a bunch of people could come together and bring all their kids stuff, we would just make it easier to sell kids stuff over a weekend. And after hosting the first event, I thought, I don't think I want to host garage sales for the rest of my life. But we had built this technology to make it easier to shop at our garage sale and sell at our garage sale. And then it turned out that the Canadian Ski Patrol makes most of their money through these massive ski swaps across Canada every year. And they could see value in the technology we had built. So now we're, kind of a curious tech company figuring out if there's a use for this software that we had. And it turned out that there was. And so for about a year, we were building for massive consignment events. And then we came to realize, that market is the size of a pea. And so we thought, why do people shop at these consignment events? What is it that the events offer that they're not seeing in the real world? And it was really that these events were willing to do all the work to find the buyers, secure the funds, and then if their stuff sold, they get a check. And if it doesn't sell, the item gets donated. And we thought, well, let's just introduce that in the real world. Let's make it easier for people to sell their used goods. And so that's where we're at today. That's a high level of how we got to where we are.
Out of 180 some episodes, that's the first time I've heard of an idea coming out of a garage sale. You've definitely got the market. I just love that. I mean, it's so neat, but I do agree with you, right? I mean, there's a big bike swap here where things happen like that, and then the bike gets donated. And I know the ski, as in you said, we've attended the ski one before. I mean, obviously it's been a few years since you could do that, but and I know it's going to be still up and running again, and you get the deals there, and you get. So how's that transition from that into, you know, creating the app? I mean, that's just not something that is very easy.
So what we launched with initially, okay, last summer, we thought people like Jade Alberts are far too lazy to post their stuff onto Facebook Marketplace. So initially our beta was, you just leave your stuff on your front doorstep. We'll connect you with some person that's nearby that is really, really good at selling on Facebook Marketplace. They'll take your stuff, store it in their garage, and they'll deal with the buyer when the buyer comes. And what we learned very quick is that we had made it easier to get rid of your stuff than like a 1-800 got junk. So now people like Jade Alberts are giving us their grandma's 1950s lamps and all her clothes. And we're like, this wasn't what we wanted. Now what? So we realized we had to ask the Jades of the world to do a little bit of work and at least take a picture of the thing. Take a picture, vet the item, show us that there's a little bit of value in the thing that you want to get rid of. And chances are you've had this thing in your house for years. You're okay to hold on to it for another 5 days while we sell it for you. And so take a picture, we'll sell it remotely, and we'll just send the buyer once the item sells, once we've secured payment. So that's kind of how things have evolved. We just launched our app in March, both in iOS and Android. And you can't even access the platform on web anymore because our initial MVP was so ugly, we just had to kill the thing. So
well, before I get into, you know, my experience with it, you know, why don't you talk us through the entire process? I know you kind of did, but I would like to hear it a little more detail.
yeah, sure. So download the app. You literally just take a picture of the item. If it has any function, like let's say you're going to put in a lazy boy and the thing reclines and it's got all these power features, then we ask you to upload a video. So take a quick video of it, show us that the thing works, walk around it. You don't have to talk about it, but just show us that the thing works. And then you tell us as much as you want and name your ideal price. Once you've done that, we connect you with one of our verified sellers, and then you literally just sit back. You can sit on the lazy boy if you want and watch the thing sell. And so once we've secured a buyer for it, either the buyer can come and pick it up from you, or we'll send a delivery company. Any Hyon item has the option to be delivered right to your door. So it's pretty neat. There's no friction for you in putting it up into Hyon, and once it sells, we just deposit the funds directly into your account.
So it's that easy.
It's that easy.
I mean, I know, I mean, I'll share my experience because I mean, I love it and I try and use everybody's platform. And when we did have, you know, a couch that we wanted to sell, and my parents wanted us to take these chairs, and they actually are really nice chairs. And of course, then their shipment got delayed, and then we had to delay it. And you know, now as we just discussed here before we went live, I'm going to be reaching out to Lisa, who was my Hyon seller, and I'll tell you, she is freaking awesome. I mean, it was the work that she did. She reached out to me. I mean, again, we had to pull it off there, but it will be going on, and I loved it. I mean, it was so easy. It was so simple. It was almost like the old Ronco, set it and forget it. Lisa would reach out to me saying, "Oh, we have someone like this. Would you accept this?" And then she would come back and say, "Okay, well, it was just really easy. It wasn't haggling or anything. It was just, it was just simple." And unfortunately, we had to pull it because my mom and dad's shipment got late, and then we're like gone for July and so forth. But I mean, I just absolutely loved it. And I mean, ours was like a couch and a love seat, but what type of other items can you have you sold or can you sell?
Oh my goodness, Jade, what haven't we sold? Okay, what we don't sell, no clothes, no shoes, no handbags. But we know how to get furniture sold. We're doing really well with furniture. We've done like Roomba vacuums, sofas, chairs, wedding decor, like commercial metal trolley carts, desks, office chairs. Wherever there's an appetite for a previously loved good, we seem to be pretty decent at finding the buyers. And so also outdoor gear. I mean, once COVID hit, everyone wanted to have a set of skis and, jump on their treadmill or be out on the water. And so sports gear seems to be another hot, I guess, group of items.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Again, I'm talking with Kristy, the founder of Hyon. You can just click on the comment section, head to the website, hyon.ca, to get more information. Is So when I do sell, like there's no way that me and the person I sell it to can carry it out the door, right? And things along those lines. Do you find that most people obviously don't want to interact with the seller, or is it more along the lines of I really don't care, or do you charge a little more if there's some sort of a delivery fee to it?
Yeah. So what we've been doing now, this depends on the individual that we're selling for. So if you say that you don't want any stranger to be coming to your house to pick an item up, your item would be, it would be mandatory that your item would include delivery. All of your items would go out with delivery. And so we would just bump up the cost of, say, your chair, so that used good gets delivered right to the buyer's door. Now, for any other Hyon item, they would typically have the option. So if you're a buyer that has a pickup truck or access to a trailer, you can go pick it up and save yourself that cost of delivery. Or you can say, hey, I'm too lazy, or I don't have a pickup truck. Please deliver Jade's chair right to me. I'm going to pay an extra, 20, $40 for that item. So, and it's so funny, Jade. I mean, if you had asked me 3 years ago, what are people going to get most excited about? I would have had a laundry list of things. None of that would have included delivery. And that's the thing that people are loving. And so you have to be open to what the market's telling you. And frick, we're very lazy in our society.
I can't argue that. There's no doubt there. As I said earlier, I mean, I could not be bothered, even when we were selling some of the kids stuff. I mean, it's like, yeah, we got a little kids playhouse, one of those things that sit on your deck. And we were just like, we're just put it on there for like $20. And I think the thing's, probably a couple hundred, and it was still in good shape. And they're like, nope, deliver it. No, next. Again, it was just do you get a lot of that? Do you find a lot of people that are trying to haggle with you guys? Like say with me and Lisa, would someone phone up and then, kind of, I don't know, bullshit them and lie or say something or try?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like Jade, all the things you don't want to do, the whole reason you like Hyon, poor Lisa, she just absorbs all of that pain for you. She handles that all. And so we call it ops now within Hyon. Our ops team and like the services team, we handle all the pain. And there's a lot of process that's still quite manual for us. And so whatever glory you bask in how Hyon works, it's because we're absorbing that cost and that pain for you.
Well, I hate throwing all kinds of pain on someone else. That's for sure. Poor Lisa.
Oh, that's good. That's what we do.
And just so people know, Lisa is actually a real person. So like, it's not just something.
She's a real person. Yeah, she is a real person. She's a mom, 2 young kids, lives in Saskatoon, was with WestJet, and then COVID hit and WestJet said, sorry, we're not going to be birds in the sky for a while. And she'd been selling for other people for years. She came across Hyon and thought, how could this thing not prove value? And she's been one of our best sellers. She's incredible.
So to find more leases, how many leases do you have, and are they easy to come across? Find?
So Jade, it's such an interesting question. So the way that we're seeing the Hyon technology sort of evolve, the goal is to think, how can we become Lisa? How can the technology that we build, how can what Hyon is be Lisa? And so it's almost like chunking out pieces that we can start to automate of the service that she provides and the pain that she solves for people like you, and then build that into the technology in such a way that, we don't need to have 1,000 Lisas all over North America or 100,000 of them. We just need really, really smart technology that became Lisa. And so that's our biggest challenge and sort of where our technology roadmap is going over the next year here.
So, I mean, you launched during COVID, which is, one of the few interviews that I have. So launching during COVID, what were your challenges? And I think maybe it helped you because everybody was already looking at online, going to e-commerce, doing things like that. Do you think that will change as we kind of open up again?
In the industry, you look at the used goods economy in downturn markets, and it does extremely well. It's very resilient to markets like this. I'd say the concern with COVID was people didn't want to meet. They didn't want to touch someone else's goods. They didn't want to show up at someone else's house. So there was a bit of friction there. When things got scary and we kept shutting down, you'd see a decline in sales. But I would say, we're all trending towards a more circular economy. How do we keep items in circulation and out of landfills? You're seeing a lot of, renos of previously loved items. Can we repaint the thing? Can we put some new hardware on it? How can we use this? We're paying 10% of the cost of this thing at retail if we buy it used. And so I think you're just seeing a North American, but also a global trend towards reuse, which is really that's really the space that we play in.
Yeah, I agree, right? I mean, when we were unloading we'll call it our Barbie stuff that the girls didn't want, all the castle things like that, and Kathy and I were talking, saying, boy, we put this up there. This is obviously before I heard of Hyon, otherwise everything would have went there. And we just put it on the street, and I think we almost, caused a traffic jam, right? People are slamming on the brakes, and it's funny because when I was looking at somebody there, and a mom and a couple of girls, little kids rolled out of the car, I was like, okay, I can give you guys as much as you want. But if someone rolled out of the car, some dude, I was like, I don't know if I want to give this to you because you just might take it and sell it, and that's not what it's for. I want it for, right? I wanted this to go to somebody that's going to love it and cherish it, and you can already see these little girls as I'm helping the moms take apart some of the parts that they've been into their car, and the kids are already playing with everything and things like that.
I love it.
I think that market is only going to get stronger and even more prevalent in the upcoming years.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the one thing, I mean, I feel fortunate. So a year and a half ago, COVID hit, just where we were at in our business, the ability for us to literally turn on access to mentors, to other markets, to people who are willing to jump on a Zoom call instead of me having to jump on an airplane. My network went from, Saskatchewan and a little bit of Toronto to now I'm in North America talking to fantastic players in the space, and they're willing to jump on a call. And so I'm actually, I'm quite thankful for the way the last year and a half has played out. It's been great for us.
Oh, that's great to hear. Again, I'm talking with Kristy, the founder of Hyon.ca. Click on the website in the comments section. So when you're getting out there and now, I mean, you're competing against the same platforms that you're selling on. So I guess that's kind of a unique thing. And to find all the lazy Jade Albertas of the world out there, how are you finding me? How are you going to go about to compete with these guys as you're selling on their platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jade, we've always thought of the lazy Jade Alberts as individual people who have the odd sofa or the odd thing in their garage that they don't want anymore. What happened about a year ago, or just over a year ago now, was someone at the provincial government here said, Kristy, how does the government rid of their used goods? And I said, I'm pretty sure that stuff like grows legs and walks right out the front doors. And Guy laughs and he goes, yeah, we're pretty sure that's what's happening as well. And this opened a whole can of worms with how enterprise rids of their surplus. So it's been a long year, a few projects later. We've been in projects with the provincial government. We're working with 4 of the crown corporations here now because they have a very archaic process in managing their surplus. And oftentimes it's something that's off the side of someone's desk. And yet surplus continues to be an ongoing issue. They always have used goods. There's always offices under renos, relocating, and now even decommissioning because of COVID. People are working from home. And so there's a need to consider, better green standards around how items are being circulated. And so we've been going head to head against these really old auction systems and providing more transparency around where these used goods are going. And so the Jade Alberts of the world for us right now look more like large corporations with a lot of ongoing surplus. But at the end of the day, those items are being posted for consumers. And so when our technology is ready to really flip the switch and say, okay, now we can handle, 1 million Jade Alberts at a time, then we're ready for you. And right now we're just building up the supply side with those enterprise clients.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? Especially in today's world where, when I talk to the CBREs and those of the world, they say it might be a 40-40-30 split. 40 work from home, 40 are coming back to the office, and maybe a 30 is a hybrid. So there could be a lot of whether it be office equipment, chairs, desks, that, and other people that, I've been a work from home for 20 some years. Well, there's a lot of people out there that don't have desks, and they're probably going to need these desks. And there's no sense going out and buying new ones when you have perfectly fine desks that you're going to set up in your house that are going to be, right downtown Calgary here, or downtown Regina where you are, Saskatoon, Winnipeg. It doesn't really matter. So I can see that market becoming very, very big for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess now you'll be going not only against the Facebooks and Kijijis of the world, you're going to be going against the Ritchie brothers and them of the world. So like just adding new big players to hit up.
Jade, don't tell them. But yeah, we've got our boxing gloves on. We're ready to play.
Well, and I do love that. I mean, there's always room. I was even watching BNN today, and I can't remember the name of the company. Bruce Croxon was talking, and another Canadian company is launching, or not launching, but stepped up, made a purchase, and they're taking a run at Shopify. So you're seeing two Canadian, a startup kind of Canadian company taking on a world icon when it comes to e-commerce, and you're like, man, I think our tech sector is getting pretty good in this country.
Yeah. You know what's so fun? You know what I love doing? You talk to, I'm not just going to say Ritchie Brothers, but you talk to a consignment, a company that has managed consignment for years. They found something that's worked for them in the past. Yeah. And the way that their minds work and the way that they think of their business model, they can't get their heads out of the clouds enough to see a grander opportunity. And what's so cool about sitting with startup founders is they just see problems in such unique ways. And they think, oh, if I just applied this lipstick to it, or if I just considered this other way of looking at the problem, you just turn the ball. The most fascinating things happen. And so I actually love talking to other companies in the space, just to gain their perspective on why they've done what they've done in the past. And we just take that problem and we turn it and think, there's a better way that we can be doing this. And that's the fun thing of being at the startup. You're not bound by, this is the way we do things here because we've always done it this way.
And I wish every company would think that way, right? You got to think outside the office, right? And there's no, just because it's, who cares? It just does not work that way. And maybe because of COVID, companies will start thinking like that when people were so scared to say, oh, work from home. If you're not here, you're not working. Well, I know friends, and I'm sure you do, that probably spend more time on social media at work than they actually do working. So it just, work's the thing you do, not a place you go. And that's not every industry, obviously, but I think that there's going to be a big switch on the way things are done and moving forward. And I think Hyon can be a leader in that industry when it comes to, moving. I previously loved the goods, as you would state.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know, when it comes to finding the Lazy Jade Alberts, was it all? Are you looking at any unique ways to find us? Are you using ads? Are you using any old school technologies? Or is it all social media?
So we've been testing different, a lot of different scripts, a lot of different images. We've been testing you as a person. How old are you? What do you like doing? What are you searching for? Are you searching for a solution? Or are you just renting more storage units because you're out of room in your garage? Yeah. And so we're trying to think of, at what point in your life can we be relevant to you, and can we be, would you be willing to take action with Hyon? And then the other piece is how are you going to trust us? And not only you as the person who owns the good, but how do we get the buyers of these used goods to trust us? Because I'll tell you, Jade, like if I'm going to sell these AirPods on Facebook Marketplace, if a Hyon seller, let's say Lisa's selling this for me, and someone says, yeah, I want to buy those AirPods, and Lisa says, great, just click this link and pay for this cart, and then these things will show up on your doorstep between these 4 hours tomorrow morning. You're sitting back as a consumer and thinking, I'm getting scammed. I'm about to lose the $100 that I want to pay for these AirPods, because you've never experienced that. And so there's this big sort of a steep learning curve to getting a buyer even comfortable with the idea of what Hyon can offer and the value that we provide. And so for us, it's a bit of education. It's a bit of finding out, what are the triggers for you that would make a platform like Hyon applicable to you. And so a lot of that for us right now is just testing and figuring out what's going to work. And so, yeah, we're putting a little bit of money behind it, and we're just learning.
Nice. Well, yeah, it takes time to learn, and sometimes it takes a little bit of cake to learn too. So I get that. So speaking of learning, what are you going to do with all the learning? What's next for Hyon?
Well, if you're looking for our team, we're a team of 8. We've never been together all in person, which is crazy to say because we kicked this thing off 3 years ago. But this Friday morning, you can find us in Saskatoon. We're going to be doing all kinds of crazy activities throughout the day and together on Saturday. I'm just stoked. And I mean, I would love to talk to you about our business plans for the future, but I just can't freaking wait to have our whole team together. And we have employees that I haven't even been, I haven't been directly face-to-face with. And so I think it's going to be wild. And when you meet someone after you've only been on Zoom with them, they're taller than you thought, they're shorter than you thought. you know their face so well, but you can't size them up when you're on the computer. And so we're going to get through that awkwardness, and then we're just going to have a lot of fun together. So we're pretty excited.
Oh, I mean, and that's all. I mean, actually, we're running into that a lot right now. We're launching our startup TNT here. The Great Alberta Pitch Marathon's coming. So
nice.
It's the Saskatchewan Pitch Marathon next week, Thursday on August 19th. And so we had our launch here in Calgary, kind of a soft launch of our TNT, Discord. It's going to be live. And again, I'm everybody that I met there that day, I had never met in person before. But I have been talking
That's amazing.
for a year and a half. So I get that. And it's funny because now that you say that, I was like, I'm like, well, how tall are you? Oh, I'm 6 feet. Really? 6 feet? You don't look like you're 6 feet in this 2-inch square. And then he's like, no,
yeah.
I'm are you sure? It's like, it's like, yeah, I'm 6 feet. And they're like, you meet him for the first time. Like I met Tim and he's like, yeah, you're 6 feet. Holy shit, you are. It's like that's awesome. I mean, I'm such a people person. I love being face to face and that. So, I mean, little things I can't even imagine. It's so hard to see what you're going through, like not going through, but to say, I got 8 employees and I've only maybe met a couple of them. So that's got to be pretty exciting to meet them face to face.
Yeah, it'll be a fun time.
Oh, I bet. Well, that's great. And especially, when it comes down, I always hate when I have to end interviews because there's such a good conversation and it's always, the information I get out of it and the passion that you've shown for your company and as everybody does, it's so neat. But I have the last question I want to ask you, because you launched during COVID and I know I've talked to many companies that have launched during COVID, but now that we're kind of, sliding out of it and hopefully getting back to the way things used to be, if you had one piece of advice for a small business entrepreneur or startup, what would that be?
I'm going to go right into startup mode on this one. I think I found myself mentoring a handful of new startups coming into tech, literally with just an idea. And I think most new entrepreneurs, or even if this is your 3rd or 5th business, you feel like there's some secret sauce. Like if I just build this one thing, everyone will see value in it and I'll just sell the damn thing. Like they just get so excited about it. They neglect to talk to customers. And the most painful thing to do is to pick up a phone or, stand on a street corner or go to Costco with a clipboard or Walmart and ask questions. But you have to get in front of strangers and let them tear apart your idea. And if it sends you home in tears, you're going to learn from that and you're going to have a better prototype the next day. And so I think the biggest thing is just being in front of strangers, get out of your friends and family zone and ask the tough questions about the ideas that you have.
And that's so true, right? Like it's bang on. And it's an answer that I really haven't even heard before. And again, it's 180 answers of this same question that I've asked entrepreneurs. And almost every week I am surprised by the different answer that I receive. Like it's that's such a great perspective on it. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, Jade, thanks for this. This has been a lot of fun. And we didn't get to talking about your shirt, but I think we have a minute left. Tell us about your shirt.
Oh, yeah, we got as much time as we want. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we're a big advocate of mental wellness. And, from how I was affected when a couple friends, took their lives when they were, young men with young families, and it really affected me because they were really good friends. I didn't know it. I didn't see it, and it really, to this day, it still bothers me. And then of course what we went through as a family with my wife suffering a little mental illness during COVID and ending up in the hospital, and we had a happy ending. And Tyler Smith's company here, and he's a speaker, and he's I believe he lives in Leduc, and he was a survivor of the Humboldt Broncos crash. And then I met 2 fine young gentlemen, Derek and Fabian, yesterday on Monday of the men's league, and I posted their website in the comments section. Again, there's that stigma for men where we can't come up because we're strong. We don't want to be vulnerable. So something like the men's league is for men by men, and I'm really excited about what these two gentlemen are doing. So it's something that I'm a proponent of, and I always say asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's something that we did, and I've listened to hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs over COVID and what we're going to do and how we're going to move forward. we always say it's okay not to be okay, and I love what Tyler came up with that slogan. And Kathy and I actually are going to be on the Headstrong program tomorrow with Pamela Morgan, sorry. And you know, I bought one of these shirts for Kath as well, because it's something that you're stronger together, and it's a proponent. That's something that you know, we truly believe in.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks for sharing. And I mean, I'm sure the work that you guys are doing and your experience is going to help others. So kudos to you for standing up and having a voice against some of those things.
Absolutely, and thank you for asking. I really appreciate that, because it's something that needs to get out there. It needs to be talked of. People need to know that it's okay not to be okay, and that there's always someone there, you know, willing to listen. And it's a very important theme, and it's part of peer guidance, and it's part of what we do, and even, you know, us as a family, you know, here in Calgary. But and I really appreciate, Kristy, you coming on, sharing your knowledge, sharing your story, and I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to see what's next for Hyon and where you guys are going to go and kind of disrupt the world of previously loved goods. So thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Awesome. Thanks, Jade.
All right. I hope everybody has a great week, and we will see you next Wednesday. Take care.